Hello and welcome to News Now. The death toll of Nigerian pilgrims who died in last month's Hajj stampede at Mina in Saudi Arabia has continued to mount. In the latest figure released by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, 145 Nigerians have now been confirmed dead in the September 24 stampede in Mina. Although Saudi authorities confirmed more than 769 pilgrims from across the world died, the death toll is believed to be over 1,000, with Iran having the higher number death casualty of over 400 people. About 1,000 people were also injured during the stampede on one of the roads leading to the Jamrat complex in Mina. Briefing journalists in Mecca, NACON's commissioner in charge of planning, research, information and library services, Salih Okenwa, said that 7 of the 42 injured pilgrims were still on admission at various hospitals in Saudi Arabia. He, however, said that the number of pilgrims earlier declared missing had reduced from 214 to 165 following the discovery of additional bodies of some Nigerians killed in the stampede. Nigerian lawmakers have called for an international investigation into the tragedy. Now, the second batch of President Muhammadu Buhari's ministerial nominees has arrived at the Senate. The list was delivered to the Senate President by the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, and the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Itai Nang. The President had on Thursday, September 30, sent the first batch, which comprised 21 names. 16 names are yet to be actually said to be on this second batch of the list. Nigeria's Secret Police Department of State Services has paraded 2 persons, it says, a part of those who kidnapped former Secretary to the Government of the Federation and former Minister of Finance Olufalaye last month in Akure. That's in southwest Nigeria now. The DSS says its men arrested Abdullahi Usman and Babawuro Kato October 5th in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital in north-central Nigeria, and that both men have confessed to the crime, citing cash crunch in the face of the Salah celebration as a motivating factor. Falaye was abducted at his Ilado farm in Akure, the Ondo state capital, on September the 21. He regained his freedom 3 days later after his family paid a ransom for his release. A DSS personnel, Abdullahi Garba, who addressed newsmen, revealed that a ransom of 5 million naira was paid to secure the release of the former Minister of Finance.
September 2015, abducted by armed men on his farm located in Idaro village, Akure in Ondo State. Even though he has been released by his abductors, who collected the sum of 5 million naira as ransom, 2 of the abductors were arrested by the service on 5th October 2015 at J Zebra Hotel along the Raja Road, Lokoja, Kogi State. The duo arrested include Abdullahi Usman, also known as Kadiri, Babawuro Kato. The service wishes to state that the abductors were mere criminals. Investigations have further revealed that their action was not targeted at Falaye as a statesman and prominent Yoruba leader. Nigerians are therefore enjoined to live peacefully with one another and shun attempts by mischief makers to give this unfortunate incident an ethnic or any other coloration and use same to cause disaffection among the populace.
Now, the Nigerian military has denied claims suggesting that the kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls are pregnant and ill. The Army's denial comes after one of the Chibok girls who recently escaped from captivity was quoted as saying that many of the girls in Boko Haram camps are pregnant and down with VVF and other venereal disease. According to the Nigerian military, this report is not true. A statement released by the military said the report was also misleading. It asked Nigerians and the international community to ignore it. Since assuming office, President Buhari has vowed to crack down on Boko Haram insurgents and rescue the missing Chibok girls alive. His predecessor, President Goodluck Jonathan, had been widely criticized for his inability to rescue the girls during his time in office. The abduction of the girls on April 14, 2014 sparked global outrage, but since then, None of the girls have been found to date. The former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswan, on Monday was in the custody of Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The former governor was held over alleged corruption during his tenure as governor of the North Central State. Suswan governed Benue State for 2 terms between 2007 and May 2015. He was being quizzed at the EFCC office in Abuja over alleged graft in his state while he was in office. He arrived at the anti-graft office in Abuja on Monday morning at about 10 a.m. EFCC spokesperson Wilson Wojaran confirmed that the EFCC had invited Suswan for questioning. Suswan joins several other past state governors under investigation by the EFCC for alleged corruption during their times in office. The United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS, UNAIDS, says it is prepared to partner with Cross River State government to end HIV by the year 2020. Country Director of UNAIDS in Nigeria, Dr. Bilali Kamara, disclosed this while he led a UN delegation to Calabar as part of its advocacy visit to states. He said the United Nations will ensure that Cross River State in South Nigeria get rid of HIV by the year 2020, assuring that the state has what it takes to end the pandemic. Speaking on behalf of the Cross River State government, the state deputy governor, Professor Evara Esu, said the state healthcare programs was in line with the UN intervention support drive, especially for women and children.
We want by the end of 2020 that no child is born with HIV in Cross River and no mother will be dying of AIDS.
And aims and objectives include, but not limited to, the protection of orphans and vulnerable children, including child rights issues, social support for women and the aged, health care, especially topical issues like malaria, HIV/AIDS.
Now, family planning has been universally recognized as one of the key pillars and most cost-effective means of achieving safe motherhood. But in Nigeria, the response of government to funding FP has been anything but impressive. Chairman Association of the Advancement of Family Planning, Dr. Ejike Oji, during a media briefing in Abuja, said the current attitude of funding family planning may affect Nigeria, especially in improvement of family planning status in the country.
Over the years, if we see the allocation that is made to the Federal Ministry of Health, there hasn't been any allocation made specifically for issues of family planning. But in the past 3 or 4 years, the Association for Family Planning has been able to successfully advocate to government to put money. Initially, the immediate past administration put $3 million in purchasing commodities. Before then, it was development partners like UNFPA, USAID, DFI, CEDA. Those are the ones helping to buy commodities for the country. But the government took a bold step and allocated $3 million. And then when the family planning that happened in England a few years ago, the federal government also committed additional $8.3 million a year. So bringing it to $11.3 million every year for the next 4 years. That's starting from 2 years ago. That is the commitment they have made in terms of pronouncement. But however, having said that, the money has not been released timely as and when due and for purchase of commodities. And one of the problems that we have, or challenges I would say, we have in the society, in the health centers, is that even when the resources have been released for commodities to be purchased, there hasn't been any money to provide for supplies and consumables that will be used to provide those services to the women. And then, as we speak, about 16% of Nigerian women say they want family planning service, but they are not getting it because of some of these challenges.
The National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital in north-central Nigeria, on Monday upheld the election of the senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Senator Dino Melaye. The tribunal, in its judgment, dismissed the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party's Senator Smart Adeyemi on the grounds that it lacked merit. A witness at the tribunal had alleged in September that the election results were falsified by officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in favor of Senator Melaye. However, according to the Justice Akon Ikpeme-led tribunal, The 4 issues formulated for determination were resolved in favor of the respondents. The tribunal also held that Adeyemi was unable to prove the case of non-compliance with the Electoral Act, maintaining that though there were cases of malpractices, they did not substantially affect the result of the election. Malaye, who was the candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the election, is currently the chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Publicity. Ake Foundations, a new educational non-government organization, has called for the federal government to convert the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board into Federal Student Financial Assistance Commission, an undergraduate admission regulatory agency. Speaking at a press conference organized by Ake Foundation in conjunction with National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, the coordinators of both groups urged the government to look into the issue of JAN policies in order to ease the problem of Nigerian youths.
We are equally concerned about the unnecessary financial hardship that students are required to endure before they graduate. We are appalled and dismayed by the fact that some students are forced to drop out for going education due to financial hardship. The Ake Foundation, along with National Association of Nigerian Students, parents, and millions of Nigerian students are persuaded that the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, the JAM, has lost grip of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination System's intent and has therefore outlived its relevance. Any attempt to leave JAM with what it was not designed for will be a great disservice to millions of young people who dream of attending higher institutions. We call on the National Assembly to convert JAM to a Federal Student Financial Assistance Commission and undergraduate admission regulatory agency. And secondly, decentralize undergraduate admission process by allowing each university, polytechnic, and college of education to handle and process undergraduate admissions.
The Alfred Common Affairs Education Foundation is coming this time around with a policy that is conglomerating what we have in our mind. That is why we are joining hands together with them and say to the federal government, the Senate, and the House of Representatives that the time has come to convert JAM to Federal Student Assistance Commission and reduce this and need to decentralize undergraduate admission. We believe that if JAM is being converted to a Federal Student Assistance Commission, this can complement and assist us in the area of free education. This can assist students in the area of bursary. This can assist students in the area of scholarship. And we believe the less privileged will be able to benefit from the educational policy, and the less privileged, who never even thought they could go to school, we also have the advantage of going to school. Because as a Nigerian student, our own dividend of good governance may not come through financial benefit, but looking at the educational system, if our educational system is being stabilized, if there is assistance for students from the federal government, we believe this is the major area where we Nigerian students can be a beneficiary of good governance.
At least 1,000 inhabitants of Adiabo community in Odukpani local government area of Cross River State have been dewormed by the Medical and Healthcare Group of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. The NYSC group, who say they decided to render selfless services to their fatherland, attributed the choice of Adiabo community to lack of proper healthcare service for women and children in the Obong of Calabar village.
I'm happy we're able to reach out to Adiabo community. I'm very, very happy. We've planned for this. Other couples have tried to achieve this, but they couldn't.
We have to choose this community to enable them feel the impact of NYSC as part of contributing to national development.
If you check carefully, most time at the rural area, most guys could not provide drugs for themselves.
Now, the Central Naval Command, CNC, in Yanagua has destroyed 50 illegal oil refining camps and 150 drums of locally refined diesel in Delta State. CNC conducted the operation in collaboration with Nigerian Navy ship NNS in Burutu local government area of Delta. Rear Admiral Akpochi Suleiman, the flag officer commanding Central Naval Command Yenagua at in Bayelsa State, South Nigeria, accompanied by Commodore Sule Aliu, NNS chief in Delta, said the largest illegal refinery in the region was discovered during the raid. He said that the camps, numbering about 50, as well as a boat used to convey the stolen crude for refining, were destroyed during the raid on the oil thieves. Suleiman said that no arrest was made as the oil thieves fled on sighting the ship. He said that the oil thieves capitalized on the difficult terrain, adding that it took about 3 hours in the creek to get to the site. Now, following the death of the former governor of Bayelsa State, Dieprie Alamesia, the All Progressives Congress APC has condoled with his family and friends. Alamesia died on Saturday at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, where he was receiving medical care. In a statement issued in Abuja Sunday by its National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed, the party condoled with the Bayelsa State government over the death of its former governor. It said it received the news of the former governor's demise with great shock, considering that he was not publicly reported to have been gravely ill. APC prayed that the family would find comfort in their moment of sadness, as well as the strength to bear the loss of their loved one. Also, the Bayelsa State Governor, Siriake Dixon, described the death as a personal loss to him, the government, and people of the state. Nigeria's main opposition party, the PDP, also expressed sadness at Alamesia's death. We'll take a break now, and News Now will be right back. Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on TV360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions. Welcome back. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has said proceeds from Nigeria's oil receipts fell by 2/3 between September 2014 and July this year. Now, the statistics provided by the NNPC was aimed at improving transparency in the state oil company. Nigeria, which is Africa's biggest economy, relies on crude sales for around 70% of government revenues. It's been hit hard by the fall in global oil prices over the last year. The report showed that total receipts for crude oil and gas exports between January and August 2015 were $3.4 billion. NNPC has begun the monthly publication of financial and operational reports after new chief Emmanuel Kachuku pledged to introduce the approach as part of a drive to crack down on corruption in the oil sector. Oil prices rose on Monday after Kuwait's oil minister said economic growth and the removal of high-cost producers would help tighten global fuel balances. Kuwait oil minister Ali Al Omar said OPEC would stick to its output policy, which has focused on building market share at the expense of higher-cost non-OPEC producers, non-oil producers, OPEC producers actually. Now, Brent crude rose 50 cents a barrel to $53.15, while U.S. crude was up 45 cents at $50.08. Now, Brent fell to a 6-year low just above $42 a barrel in August, down from a peak above $115 in June 2014. Turkish PM Ahmet Davutoglu has said the Islamic State group is a prime suspect in the Ankara bombings that killed nearly 100 people on Saturday. No group has said it carried out the attack, but the government believes that 2 male suicide bombers caused the explosions. The official death toll is 97, but one of the main groups that at the march put the number of dead at 128. The funerals of more of the victims are taking place on Monday. Saturday's twin explosions ripped through a crowd of activists gathering outside the main railway station in the Turkish capital. They were due to take part in a rally calling for an end to the violence between Turkish government forces and the militant Kurdistan Workers' Party PKK. Speaking on Turkish television, Davutoglu said the bombings were an attempt to influence the forthcoming elections due to take place November 1 after a vote in June left no party able to form a government. The attack is the most deadly in Turkey's history. British Academist Angus Deaton has been awarded the Nobel Economics Prize for 2015 for his analysis of consumption, poverty and welfare. The 69-year-old professor of economics and international affairs at Princeton University was previously at Cambridge and Bristol universities. His research focuses on health, well-being and economic development. Professor Deaton had been in the running for the prize several times in past years. The Nobel Economic Sciences Committee said that individuals' consumption choices must be understood before economic policy promotion, welfare and reducing poverty could be formulated. Deaton has carried out extensive research in India and South Africa and other parts of the developing world. The award includes prize money of 8 million Swedish kronor. The economics award was not created by Alfred Nobel. Was actually not created by Alfred Nobel in 1895, but was added by Sweden's central bank in 1968 as a memorial to the Swedish industrialists. The Nobel Prizes will be given to winners on December 10 at ceremonies in Stockholm and Oslo. The Confederation of African Football has released a list of 37 players for the 2015 African Footballer of the Year award. This year's list contains just 2 Super Eagles players and Vincent Enyama and new captain of the Super Eagles, Ahmed Musa. 4-time winner Yaya Toure unsurprisingly makes the list alongside other members of the Ivory Coast AFCON winning team in Jovinho, Sadji Arua and of course Max Grade, while Africa's top team, Algeria, are the most represented on the list with 6 players. The award will be decided by a vote of the coaches or technical directors of the continent's national teams. NFF president, that's the Nigerian Football Federation president now, Amaju Pinnick, has said that the federation will soon enforce a code of conduct for players and officials of the various national teams. Pinnick, while speaking actually in Belgium, assured that the code of conduct was ready and would soon be implemented to guide the conduct of players, officials and coaches, as well as avoid a repeat of the Olise Enyama saga. Pinnick also added that the federation was looking towards the possibility of organizing a testimonial for former goalkeeper Enyama. The country's most capped player announced his decision to retire from the team after a bust-up with coach Sunday Olise. Now let's take you to some entertainment news. Nigeria's beauty pageant, Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria, MBGN, is set to kick off in Calabar, the Cross River State capital in South Nigeria, with the arrival of the 37 young and beautiful contestants. The host government of Cross River State welcomed the prospective queens with a warm carnival-like reception at the Margaret Ekpo International Airport, which the organizers described as unusual.
I actually made history by helping them to have one of the first African queens who won Miss World back in 2001. That was Abani Durango. That was my girl who I trained and helped to win the crown of Miss World. So I'm trying to win that crown again, either Miss World or Miss Universe. So I'm here to pretty much put the show together, help to produce it, train the girls.
Now, the 2015 edition of the pageant, which has the theme Climate Change, will depict Cross River as a green land where Africa's forest reserve can largely be found. Well, we can only wish those beautiful girls the best of luck. One of them will take the crown eventually. We'll just have to wait and see or find out who wins it at the end of the day. That's it on news now. We thank you very much for watching. Continue to stay tuned to TV360. We have more coming your way.